here with a video where I share my thoughts, my opinions on a fellow Canadian in Sami Zayn. Before I share my thoughts and opinions on Sami Zayn, would love to know what your thoughts and opinions are on him down in the comments below. Hit the like, subscribe, and all of that fun stuff. It would be greatly appreciated by yours truly. And when it comes to Sami Zayn, I kinda, sorta, somewhat followed him before WWE. I started watching Ring of Honor in the summer, July, August, September, whenever they went on the Sinclair broadcasting deal came through and whatnot, and he signed with WWE by I think December of 2012, January of 2013 time period. So it's not necessarily the longest time period, and that was him, or actually it might have been his twin, El Generico, not Sami Zayn, because they're different people. But I bring that up because I was kind of familiar with Sami Zayn before Ring of Honor, just not as familiar as some other people who were watching ROH in the mid-ish to late 2010s. And the fact that I am only really 99% of his career to me has been within WWE, so I can only really talk about my thoughts on Sami Zayn in WWE. And for myself personally, he was one of those guys where I kind of but I don't know if this makes sense, but I was expecting more from him in the early days of NXT in 2012, 2013, when it went from game show to developmental, because up here in Canada, we still got NXT developmental in those early days. And the first match I remember him having was, I think it was the TV main event versus Cesaro, or Antonio Cesaro, in early-ish 2013, the first half kind of deal. Signed in January, and first match was by June of the year, and he had another match against somebody else earlier in the show. But when it comes to Sami Zayn, he's one of those guys where like I said, I was expecting more because of the reputation that he had on the independent scene, whether it was in the ring, maybe not necessarily gimmick-wise, because he wrestled majority of his career under a mask, being El Generico, the generic kind of deal. So him being kind of generic made sense, and then him on the microphone was okay. And like I said, the gimmick was okay, but the build up from then until late 2014, when he eventually won the NXT championship, still one of my favorite build ups to a championship or win in wrestling. It's that one, it's Cody Rhodes, and it's Pretty Ricky, just like a Ontario independent promotion kind of deal. Those three, legitimately top three. So when it comes to Sami Zayn, his NXT run, it grew on me and whatnot. Him on the main roster, definitely ups and downs kind of deal, kind of like a wave. Sometimes you have some really not necessarily high highs, like him, Bobby Lashley, and Bobby Lashley's fake sisters. Then you have some pretty high highs, him and Kevin Owens versus the Usos, main event of WrestleMania 39. Him versus Kevin Owens at Elimination Chamber, I think it was 2025, the one in Toronto at Skydome Rogers Center. But Sami Zayn has been consistently, at least on the main roster, consistently really good. At first, like I said, in 2013, him in the ring, really good. Him on the microphone, him character work was better than what I could do back then or nowadays. Fast forward to middle of 2026, and he is legitimately my favorite character work kind of deal, as well as talking on the microphone in WWE right now, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and probably my favorite if you would want to include AEW and the independents as well. And like I said, definitely one of my favorites, if not my favorite, mic and character work, not necessarily bell to bell, but hell, his worst hypothetical match within WWE better than my hypothetical best match and a lot of people's best matches. So yeah, one of my favorites to watch, one of the only few good reasons for myself personally to tune into SmackDown for, but those are my thoughts, my opinions. Would love to know what yours are down in the comments below.
I guess some bitches know my name. Yeah, they for the best. My boys know my life. Don't trust nobody.